These are harsh lessons I learned from working with a small business and trying to scale that small business. We're going to get right into it. If you didn't know, joined the army at 18, got out, started scrubbing toilets and door dashing. Ended up working a sales job at a gym. I got pretty decent. Took all the skills I acquired from the sales job at the gym, and I entered a small business that was owned by one person. And the company is Brother Cosmetics. You can do your research. They manufacture nail products. From there, I helped them grow in distribution. I took them from currently they had like 4 or 5 stores to about 30 stores. So I increased the amount of distributors they had, and I just sold for them, right? And so I learned a lot from working with them because it was a small company. So it was just me and another person. And so it was 2 people operating the entire business, so it's tough. And I took them, it was a small business to where it started looking like a legitimate company. We started having employees because the amount of work that we had to do increased. We started getting employees. Like, it was magnificent, all that stuff. So we're going to get right into it. 1, the customer is always right. Validate them, which will help nullify an argument. In the industry we were in, there were so many other brands that would bicker with their own customers through Instagram comments and through emails. Like, it was awful. Actual business owners bickering with their customers. Dude, your customer is always right, even if they're wrong. Does not matter if they're wrong, they're right. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you not understand about this? As a business owner, you are 100% wrong all the time. And here is how you can nullify an argument. You nullify an argument by just validating why they're angry. So we would have distributors really get angry at us because we had late shipments, bro. Just some things out of our control. And we would have customers that would get angry at us for having late shipments. And this is what nullified it. If a distributor was angry and I was in charge of distribution, so I was VP of sales, I was the face of the company, and I was in charge of distribution. So I handled the sales portion and distribution. So I was having one-on-ones with all of our distributors. If they were angry and they reached out to me, I would validate them. So if they're like, hey, Thompson, I'm really upset, didn't get a package, I wouldn't say something like, oh, sorry, man, you know what happens. You just got to be patient. That's terrible. Like, here's what you do instead. You go, are you serious? You didn't get your package? I'm going to freaking fire somebody. I can't believe this. Man, our late shipment is literally destroying your business. You got to make money, and we're responsible for you making money because we provide you products. I can't believe this, man. I can't imagine how frustrated you are. I literally can't imagine how mad you are. Let me talk to somebody, man. I'm going to freaking fix this right now. By the way, I'm going to make sure someone gets fired tonight, man. Just give me a second. And now, most of the times, they'll be like, whoa, it's not that serious, man. I just wanted an update on my thing. You're good, right? So now they're less angry because they see that you're even angrier than them. If you're angrier than them, it shows them that, okay, he understands it because he's getting angry for me. No need for me to get angry. I see it. Done. Not that hard. Next. When you become reliant on someone, your business will fail if they leave. Don't be relying on anybody unless you can do what they do. Or make sure if you're relying on somebody, then you can do what they do, or you can do better than what they do. Because if you are if you're relying on somebody and they are like the lifeblood of the business or the company, and they skedaddle, you're screwed because now you have to recruit talent. You have to find and recruit talent ASAP, or you better have a backup plan. Like, you better be really good at one thing that can kind of negate the loss. Be very careful when you are relying on somebody. All right? Just be very careful. I won't go into details, but I will say the more reliant you are on somebody, the higher chances of you failing if they leave. So my advice, learn how to do what they do. And if they're better at something, and if you recruit them and they're just a beast, you better learn how to do what they do. You better ask them questions. And it means you have to be humble. It means you have to cut your damn ego. No one gives a fuck. And just because you employ them doesn't mean that you can't learn from them. You need to start asking them questions, and you need to practice doing what they do, because they can teach you something. And that'll help you, because if one day they leave, you are not afraid because you're like, oh, I can do whatever the heck he can do. Don't worry. Very simple. Or if you don't want to do that approach, you better have a backup plan, meaning you better possess a skill that will bring money into the business despite them leaving. Next one. Treat treat salespeople well, man. They're the lifeblood of a company. Like, yeah, if you own a small business or a highly successful one and you have salespeople, like treat them well. They're literally the lifeblood of your company. A business is money in, and they bring money in. Like treat them well, cater to them, like help them, make their job easier. Literally, like I don't know how many times my job would have been easier if I just had more help at Brother Cosmetics. But instead, I had to sell all on my own with no help. Right. So here's something that helped. Here's one of our tactics. What we did was we would go on TikTok live a lot and we would sell. Yes. And if I was selling, the amount of audience and views I would get would be predicated on the amount of videos posted. If there were no videos that were posted, then it would be hard for me to get views. If I didn't get a lot of views, the amount of sales would significantly decrease. So that means I spent a lot of time with not a big return. And so to help me, all someone had to do was just make videos and post it on the platform, which will generate views to the live broadcast, which will help me sell to a larger audience. Distribution. If the brand was not growing, it did at the time, but if the brand was not growing, it'd be a lot harder for me to sell and close high ticket deals because the brand was not recognizable. It was no one knows about us. But thankfully, my boy did a great job at coming up with ideas on how to get us recognizable and notorious. Like he did a great job. And so it was a lot easier for us to sell. One, we had a product that stood out. It was an all black brand. So like black everything. And so we're the only one in the nail industry that did like an all black type of theme. So that's one. That's what made us stand out. Our all black jars, matte black. And second, the notoriety of the brand. And so when I talk about treat your salespeople well, I mean do things that will help them literally help them help you. They're helping you by bringing money in. All you have to do is help them, because if you help them, you help your damn self. Treat them well and help them. Ask them, hey, what's the most difficult thing about selling right now? What can I do to make it easier? What do you need? And talk to them. Instead of just saying, oh, you are my soldier and slave, go work, peasant. No. Because if all your salespeople leave, you're fucked. You're screwed. You're fucked. And now you have to rely on paid ads and social media marketing, which is a lot slower than a salesperson just racking in a couple thousand a day. Except now you're doing a couple thousand every other day. Right? So it's a lot slower. Treat them well. Next. A business is money in, nothing else. You need business to sustain. And you need money to sustain, and you need profit to grow. A business is money in. Nothing else, man. Money in. Find a way to get money in. There was a time in Brother Cosmetics where we were facing failure. Thankfully, Brother Cosmetics is highly successful now, but we were facing failure. And we had to make a way. And what we did was we said, dude, if we don't find a way to get orders in now, we're screwed. So what we had to do, like we had to do this, otherwise we would have failed, is we stocked everything. Everything was in stock, and it was going to take like a month to a month and a half for delivery. And so people were going to have to wait up to a month and a half, right? And so we're like, damn it, are we going to do that to our customers? And we're like, okay, what can we do? We'll just, if they send an email, we're going to give them discount codes, say sorry. And when we ship out the order, we're going to include a bunch of free gifts, like to do something to sustain. Because if we didn't make that call, we would have failed, right? And so we made a call. We had no inventory. Money was low at the time. And this was a long time ago, dude. Brother Cosmetics is far beyond that now, like highly successful. But this was like early stages. And we're like, okay, we just got to take this risk. We have to, because, dude, if not, then we're out of business. Stock everything. Promote it. Everything's fully stocked. Go get the money in. Get the money in to pay for the shipment. Bring the products here. Once the products are here, if the emails come in, where are my products? Where's my order? Be like, sorry, there's a small delay. Please bear with us. Here, use this coupon code for like 30% off. We're so sorry. We're going to include a bunch of free gifts in your stuff. Promise. And then finally, when the month came by, products came. Boom, on it, shipping orders, boom, 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 fast. And we include a bunch of free gifts so that they got their money's worth. If they spent $15, they got like $50 worth of products in one package. Boom, send it out. And everyone was happy because the clients, yeah, they waited a little bit, but they got a bunch of free stuff and they got a discount code. And we were happy because we were able to keep the business afloat. Business is money in. Find a way to get money in. Like, find a way. And if you have to take that route, make sure you take care of your customers. Hook them up with free stuff, man. Hook them up with discount codes and apologize for the delay. But you have to make sure money stays in, otherwise you're screwed. And then once you're past the sustaining phase, now you need to think, how can I get more money in? Because that's how you grow. You need profit now. Obviously, early stages of business, money in, recycled, inventory, recycle, inventory, push it out, inventory, recycle. So it's just recycling the money. And so you're making a bunch of money, like 100K, 200K, and you're like, where the hell did my money go? You're like, damn, we just made like 100K in like a month. Where the heck did the money go? It is recycled towards the product, right? And so like, damn, now we got to make 200K to profit. How do we make 200K? Well, and now this is where you think. To increase the profit, now you have to think. Do we mark up the pricing? Do we release more products? What kind of products should we release? Now it's up to you. All right? Now it's up to you. Next, if there isn't demand for your products, you have to be willing to cut margins by offering incentives to increase the possibility that people will buy. It's very simple. At that time, we made a call. Not a lot of people knew about the brand. Not a lot of people tried the product. And so we incentivized by saying, hey, if you buy one, you'll get two for free. Margins got significantly cut. And to a degree, it ended up hurting us in the long run or in the short run. But if you play this game, you have to understand that you're playing this for the long run. So you need to find a way to sustain it. So you need to be really precise and punctual with whatever it is you're giving away. You can incentivize because people already have a go-to. Here's an example. If you use shampoo, Head and Shoulders, and you've been using it your whole life and it's $3 a pop, and I present to you another shampoo that does exactly what Head and Shoulders does, but it's $15 a pop, why would you try mine out? Now, if I incentivize and I say, hey man, if you try one shampoo, we'll include a gift set, a loofah, another shampoo for free. So it's a $30 value with a gift set and a loofah, boom, boom. You're like, oh, that's a deal. That's a steal, only for $15, done, grab it, right? And so if they try it and the product is good, then they are a returning customer. Like, oh, that's not too bad. Let me see what else you guys got, right? But you have to be able to cut margins. Like you have to be able to risk cutting margins. You're not going to profit. This will be sustaining. You will sustain, survive, and it'll be very tough. Because you'll do a lot of work and you won't be profiting and you'll just be like, dude, I'm barely surviving. But if you do it for a long enough time, you'll see. And there was proof. After a long enough duration, after doing all these incentives, our daily order amount increased from what it was 6 months ago. So we did it for a span of like 6 to 8 months and our daily order increased. And we were doing little to no social media marketing. And so it definitely wasn't coming in from marketing. And we weren't running paid ads at the time. So it wasn't coming in from paid ads. It was people, word of mouth, saying, hey, I tried this color. Why don't you try it? So one, referrals, word of mouth. And it was returning people that just wanted to try new colors because the products they got were really good. Right? And so you have to take a risk on that. It's a risky move, but hey, you got to be able to take the risk on that. You have to. If you don't take the risk, then you guarantee failure, right? If you take the risk, then you risk failure. If you don't take the risk, you guarantee failure. Very simple. Next. This is going to be a good one, man. If you don't have a good product to sell, you have a great sales approach or team. If you cannot sell, you better learn how to market. We had a great product. This was a great product. This was our Rejuvenation Nail Growth Oil. It was a phenomenal product. And so it needed little sales. Just marketing. And that alone got this product all the way up because it's a phenomenal product, man. Great product. It does what it does, and it's a great product with wholesome ingredients. Now, if this product was garbage, that means now you need to learn how to market because if the product is bad, you need to make it desirable. You make it desirable by learning how to market it. Once you learn how to market it, now you need to focus on sales because, okay, marketing isn't enough. We need a hard sales approach to generate units. Or to generate traffic, one, and to sell more units, too. So that's how you can identify what you need to work on. If you have a good product and it's not selling, your marketing is terrible. If you have a good product and your marketing is good, but you're not selling, you got to focus on sales and you need to find a good, hard sales approach. If you have a terrible product, you got to focus on both marketing and sales. If you have a good product, terrible marketing, then you focus on sales. You focus on sales to make up for the marketing. But you need to do it. You need to really scale in all three. Find a good product, make a good product, learn how to market the product, make it desirable. Once it's desirable, find a hard sales approach to close these people. Done. Next, If you're starting out, you wear all the hats. Your goal as a CEO is to recruit talent to free up your time. Once you have more time, use it to think of more ideas that will scale the business. Look, if you are an entrepreneur and you start a small business, look, you wear all the hats. You clean, you fix the equipment, you figure everything out, you release the product, everything, and you ship the packages and you do everything. When you decide that, okay, I am stagnant and I need to bring on talent, this is when you recruit talent. That's when I came on board in Brother Cosmetics. It was just Adrian holding it down at the time. That's when I came on board and I freed up his time by doing everything he did. So I literally began to wear all the hats. Everything the CEO and founder did, I did, right? The only thing I didn't do was contact the manufacturer. I left that up to him. I'm like, hey, you handle that. I got enough on my damn plate. And so I freed up his time. And so that point of freeing up time, if you're a CEO and founder, is so that you can use your time to think of ideas because you're always occupied, you're always working. And when you bring on talent, they free up your time. And so now you have time to think of more ideas that will scale the business. That's the point. You bring and recruit talent to free up your time. Otherwise, it's a job. Once someone can do what you can do or do it better, you might have a freaking business, right? Next, cut all unnecessary expenses. And if you don't want to, you better find a way to 3x the money you spend. So we had a rule. Every time me and my boy ate out at the time, if we spent a large amount of money, we weren't afraid because we're just like, we'll just put in double the work tomorrow. And that was just our framework, at least. We're like, we'll spend the money and we'll just put in double the work tomorrow. Easy, done. If you don't want to do that and you are very picky on spending money, even better. Cut all unnecessary expenses. You want to cut all overhead. All overhead, man. Because if top line if you don't have enough top line and you're barely racking in bottom line, then hey, you need to cut all expenses, all of it, because that means you're not profiting. Margins are very low. All right, cut everything. Limit overhead as much as possible. Next, until you have enough money to hire employees, don't freaking hire any. Do everything alone until you plateau. Once you plateau, you need to find talent. Like, if you're doing everything and you're plateauing, it's an indication that you need to bring people into the team. Otherwise, you work a job. Don't you want to own a business? A business is you wake up, check your phone. Well, damn, I just made $6,000. I didn't even have to show up. That's a business. You don't need to show up every day. If you have to show up every day, you work a job. When I was there, Adrian didn't have a job anymore. It was my job. He finally had a business. He would wake up, and I'm already at the warehouse, wake up, and he's like, dude, what the heck? 6,000, done, just like that. He's like, this is crazy. He would tell me, he's like, dude, those were like the best days ever because I'd be on live selling. That was part of my job, whatever it is. Whatever, right? That's the whole idea of a business, is to bring on talent. Bring on talent that can do what you do or supersede what you did. It just so happened that I was able to do a majority of what Adrian did, and I superseded what he did. Thankfully. Shout out to God. Next. And by the way, if you don't have enough money, please don't hire any damn employees, man. Like, last thing you need is to be late on running payroll, and now you're screwed, and now you're stressing even more. You don't want that. Next, if you find talent, you need to be a great teacher and a leader. If you don't know how to lead, that talent will leave. If you don't know how to be a teacher, that talent cannot learn and become even better. The goal with talent is to make them better, learn from them, and teach them, right? Because now you're recruiting talent, you have to teach them the operations. But one, you need to make sure that they get better, because if they're talent, that means they can grow. That means the scope of how much they can grow is unlimited because you recruited them, they're talent, so they can learn. So you need to be a great teacher. You need to learn how to teach. But more than that, you need to be a great leader. If you're not a great leader, dude, your talent is going to get pissed off with you and not want to be there. And if you're dependent on your talent, you're screwed. All right. Next, never ask people to do anything you have not done. This is for all my CEOs and founders. If you have never been seen sweeping and mopping, you better not ask anyone to sweep and mop. If you've never scrubbed the toilet or you've never shown anyone that you were scrubbing the toilets, you better not ask anyone. If you are not first on time or early, you better not ask anyone to be early. If you are not the last to leave, you better not ask anyone to stay an extra couple minutes. No. If you're going to ask someone to do something, make sure you already do it. Next one. Be the first to show up and last to leave. Like I said, if you're the head honcho, CEO, founder, you better be the first one there, last one out. I don't need to explain that anymore. First one there, last one out. Set the standard. Show everyone on your crew, if you have one, that, hey, I am the hardest worker. And none of you guys will match me. And if you do match me, you'll impress me and I might promote you. Done. Which will help me with my next one. Promote people who either match your standards or go above and beyond. These people are what keep your business from becoming chaotic. Employees will hate them, but you love them. I'm working at a gym right now, LA Fitness, and we have a manager. No one likes her, right? And no one likes her because she's so by the book. Employees will hate you. Companies will love you. As a CEO and founder, you need people like that are by the book, that follow the rules, that are obedient. They're puppies on a little chain. You need them. They are the lifeblood of your company. They follow the rules. They uphold the standard. They're amazing. You promote them. You give them cookies and bring pizza to them. Who cares if all the other employees hate them? And they're helping your business by maintaining and keeping things in order. You need to promote those type of people. Promote the people. Look out for the people that match your standards or even supersede them. Very simple. Next, motivate your team to freaking hustle, man. People have tough days, man. Bring food, bring the smile, bring the energy. I, for one, am not someone that goes off other people's energy. If I'm happy and my whole environment's sad, I stay happy. I don't get affected by my environment. That's just me. And if I'm sad and my whole environment's happy, I'm going to choose to stay sad. That's just me. I don't get affected by my environment. I dictate and I choose the rules. I'm the shot caller. So however I feel, that's how I feel for the day. No one can influence that. It doesn't really matter. But for the most part, people are easily prone to getting influenced. So you need to motivate your team. If you're a CEO and a founder and you have a team, you need to motivate them. Bring food one day, bring pizza because they're probably hungry. They have no money and they make minimum wage and you're paying the minimum wage. So hey, do yourself a favor. Bring some food. Be like, hey, I got us some food. Come on, everyone, take a break. Come on, eat. We're going to get to work. And then afterwards, you work with them, be like, hey, I'll race you, get the work done. But all right, can you guys hold it down here? High five, everybody. I got some stuff to take care of. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the hard work. I love you guys. Done. Motivate your freaking team, man. Motivate your damn team because without them, you're fucked. Without them, you're fucked. Take your ego, bring it down, motivate them, take care of them. Next, people will go off your energy, set the standard. Same thing. That kind of applies to the last one. If you're the CEO and the founder, people will kind of go off your energy, set the standard. And if you're not, if you're just an employee, people will still match your energy, man. So set the standard, man. If you're not having a bad day, learn from my mistakes. I would go to work at Brother Cosmetics pissed off, so angry because I just wanted to make it and I hated the situation that I was in. I just fucking hated it. I hated it. And it affected everyone around me. I was always so angry. I moved fast. I didn't talk to anyone. I was always so serious, but I got the work done. And sometimes getting the work done isn't enough. Producing isn't enough. Sustaining isn't fucking enough. Sometimes you have to freaking do everything. Otherwise, you're seen as a freaking villain, right? So, hey, people will go off your energy, set the damn standard. Next one, your company will do better with the face in its early stages. Once the reputation is established, the face will become the brand itself, right? And so in the early stages, I'd say have somebody that represents the brand. Have somebody, be it you or someone that you recruit. It's more ways to freaking market. Instead of just marketing the brand and the product, you get to market the person now. There's more avenues for acquisition now, right? There's more avenues, right? In the early stages, I highly recommend attach a face to the company or the business or the brand. Attach a face. Once you're really, really established, the service itself, the brand itself will speak for itself and you no longer need a face. If you want to have a face still, that'll be your call, right? In the early stages, I recommend having a face. Make sure you have a face of the company. Next, study the competition, attack weak points. There's always room to do better. I don't think this needs explanation. Whatever industry you're in, do the research. If you're in the nail industry, look at all the other nail brands, see what they're doing, see their pricing, boom, 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 boom. If you're a barber, see what other barbers are doing, see their barbershops, boom, 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 boom. Go to different barbershops, see the inside, see the interior, see what you would do different. Remember, boom, 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 boom. Done. If you detail cars, same thing, same rules apply. I don't need to explain that anymore. Next, don't be afraid to look at different industries for inspiration. The reason why Brother Cosmetics would have been the number one, the reason I say would have is because Adrian and I both agree that, hey, we're destined for more. It's time to go our separate ways, which is, it is what it is. Like we're both destined for more, whatever. So we would look at inspiration from other industries. If we wanted to make a commercial, we're not just looking at nail commercials. We're looking at cosmetics, perfume commercials, Nike, boxing, everything. We're going to different industries, getting bits and pieces for inspo. If we wanted product inspiration, we're not just looking at other nail supplies. or other nail brands. If we wanted to design a product, we're going to Macy's and we're looking at every damn product on the shelves. Everything. We looked at different industries for inspiration, so don't be afraid to look at different industries for inspiration on how you can make it better. You never know what you can find from different industries. You never know. You can learn so much from their marketing tactics, and you can learn so much from how they build their brand and their company and all that good stuff. Just make sure, don't just limit yourself to the niche or industry that you're in now. Look at different industries. Next, track everything, man. This lets you see what's working and what's not, so you can spend more time doing what works, less time doing what doesn't work. Track everything. If you're gonna make a video, track the views. What did you say? What was the hook? How long was the video? Was it the song? Track everything. I tracked the cold calls. We tracked every cold call, and we would black out the people that wouldn't know. This would give me an indication. Are they cold, warm, or hot? Right? Those are our leads. And so I spend more time with the hot and warm leads instead of the cold leads, right? And so instead of calling all of them again, I just say, okay, where are my hot and warms? Call them again, right? Track the cold calls. We had an Excel sheet where we tracked distribution. Which of our stores performed the best? How many stores did we have that constantly repurchased? And we would give more attention to the high ticket numbers. So if there was a store that purchased a lot and they ended up spending like 100K with us, 200K with us, or whatever, we would put a lot of attention towards them. We'd be like, hey, you are like our number one distributor. What can we do? Let's do a meet and greet. Boom, right? That's what we did. Track things so you know what works and you can avoid what doesn't work. Next, lone wolves eat scraps. Find someone you trust, take over the world. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, when me and Adrian were like full force at it, at the rate Brother Cosmetics was growing, we would have been the number one brand in the nail industry if we continued for about 2 or 3 years. Except we just decided to call it quits. We're like, hey, I think this is good enough. Let's move on to the next. I want to do my own thing. You want to do your own thing. We just saw bigger for our life than just being part of the nail industry. Not saying the industry is small. It's just we wanted more for our life, and we're like, we're good, man. Let's just move on to the next, right? And that's all that happens. But lone wolves eat scraps. If you think you can do it alone, it's not going to happen. You need a team, or at least one person by your side. One person by your side. You need one person. Find one person that you trust and say, hey, come on board. Let's freaking go at this and go. Find someone you trust that's willing to take the risk just like you, that is almost a copy and paste of you, or at least can learn to be a copy and paste of you, and you guys take over the world. Next, you cannot be canceled unless you choose to be. We made a video to grow the reputation of the brand, and it was a controversial video in the nail industry, and it went everywhere. Got a lot of hate for it because people are, I guess they put words in our mouths or whatever. We were just talking about pricing, and somehow it got into this whole race war thing. I'm just like, what the heck happened? We were talking about pricing, man. All we were trying to do was make a viral clip, whatever. And so people tried to cancel us, but we just kept showing up and we just kept going and going and going and going and going. And so we did it. Now, there was a moment where we did something, and what happened was we stopped producing and we stopped going on live. And so we chose to be canceled and we lost momentum. Well, no matter what you do in your life, never, 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 never lose momentum. Never lose momentum. Never. If your business is doing good, you make sure you do everything to keep it going good. You don't stop. If the moment you stop, you're screwed. Go, 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 and go. Go. Like, momentum is so addictive because it's so rewarding. And so the moment you stop, you're going to see the consequences. There was something that happened that caused us to stop producing sales. Just know something happened. It caused us to stop producing sales. We had to reformulate. We had to do stuff. We had to do this and this and this and this. We had to change up everything. Boom, boom, boom. And we stopped for a span of like 2 or 3 weeks. And then when we try to get back to going hard sales, dude, the numbers we saw were slowly declining. And the amount of work, we were putting the same amount of effort in, and we weren't seeing the numbers. Like, if we put 8 hours of work in and we saw 10,000, now we put 8 hours of work in and we'd see 3,000, 4,000. And still very good, but we're like, damn, we lost a lot of momentum. Some days we'd see 1 or 2,000. We're like, damn, we're like, what the heck? Never lose momentum. You freaking go. And if you're going and everything's profitable, everything's green, then you keep it going and you push it up. Run paid ads, make more videos, even more. Boost the momentum, because when you boost the momentum, you have no idea, skyrocket, straight to the moon. Go. If your product is performing well, or whatever the heck you have, if a product is doing good, you make more videos about that product, run paid ads, boom, shoot it to the sky, Never stop. No matter what, you don't lose momentum. That's the number one important thing. If things are going good, you don't stop. The moment you stop, you're screwed. I'm just letting you know, man. Next, if you make someone a star, don't be upset once they shine. Like if you recruit talent and you decide to make them a star and you want like all attention on them, don't be afraid when the star shines. It's just doing what it's natural. It's just doing what it's made to do. And plus, you're the one that wanted to make this person the star. So hey, it's your fault. So if you bring on talent and you're like, you know what, this person is good. I really like this person, and you make them the star of the show. When they start getting the recognition, when they start doing this, don't get upset. Just be like, part of the plan. Business is doing good, so we're good. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you have to get ego, push it down. Eliminate ego completely. Use people, let them use you. I know this sounds terrible. Just listen, this is what I mean. This allows you to identify strengths and weaknesses in the business. When I say use people, I mean whatever someone brings to the plate, take all of it. Be like, oh, you're good at this. I'm going to put you here, and I'm definitely going to use you for this. Boom. And let them use you. If they need something from you, be like, yeah, you got me, man. It's an exchange of value now. It's like, yeah, I'll do that for you no matter what. Yeah. You want some information on that? Sure, man. Go on, let's have a talk. Let's sit down in the office. Let's have a talk. This lets you see, okay, they're strong here. I'm going to redirect them here. It would be foolish for Adrian to redirect me to customer service alone. Like, imagine if Adrian just kept me at customer service instead of making me the VP of sales, the face of the company, and the head of distribution, and letting me go on TikTok Live and sell the product and making cold calls and taking these meetings one-on-one by myself solely with the product, and I didn't need him there. Like, imagine if he was like, nah, Thompson, you're just answer the phone. You need to identify strengths and weaknesses. Once you're able to do so, you can put people where they belong. And wherever they belong, you can now help them by giving them some of your value that you have to give to make them even better, which in turn will help you as a CEO and a founder. Done. It's not that complicated, right? Always assume you are worse, never assume you are the best. And this is a framework I get from Alex Hormozy. If you assume you are the best in the industry or niche you're in, if in the case that you are not the best, now you just look like a silly fool. And on top of that, if you think you are the best, that means there's no room to grow because you're the best. You're content. Always think you're worse than everybody because that leaves you room for comparison, and comparison means you can figure out what to do better. You compare yourself to other highly successful brands or businesses or companies that's in your same niche or industry, and now you can figure out how to do better than them, how to market better, how to promote better, how to design better, how to have this, just how to do better in general. All right? Always assume you're worse because that's the only way you can grow. If you assume you're best, you become content. Last one. You cannot be upset at your salespeople for being unable to sell a product that no one wants. If that's the case, you need to invest more time into marketing to make the product desirable so that your salespeople can freaking attack. Or you need to think of a new product for them to sell. If Adrian didn't grow the brand, do you know how hard, if Adrian didn't even put in a lick of effort to grow the brand, do you know how hard it would have been for me to close distribution deals? 50K, 25, 30K, or 20K, 15K distribution deals? They'd be tough, right? If Adrian couldn't think of this genius product and if we didn't create this freaking genius nail growth oil, and it was his idea, do you know how hard it would have been for me to sell acrylic powder on live? No, he thought of a product that shot to everyone. And it was a damn good product, man. Good ingredients too. By the way, if your nails are weak, fragile, and dual, you can check this out, man. TikTok shop, Brother Cosmetics, man. Go check it out, ladies or gentlemen. You want pretty nails? Go check it out, man. Rejuvenation nail growth for Brother Cosmetics. So I'm telling you, if you don't have a good product, don't be upset that your salespeople can't sell. And if your salespeople are struggling, you need to find a freaking way to help them. Right? I had this conversation with Adrian. I'm like, dude, I'm struggling selling this stuff. I need you to make more videos to increase traffic to the live so more people can jump in the live so that I can convert them. Like, I need your help. And he did it, right? So you need to figure out, is it the product issue? Obviously not. And if it's not, is it a salesperson issue? Do we got to cut some people? What's going on? And if it is a product issue, okay, let's up our marketing. Let's make it more desirable. And even if we up the marketing and we have a sales team and they're still not doing anything, then it's a product issue. Now that we know it's a product issue, okay, now we got to, let's just try. Let's brute force volume. And if volume doesn't work, now this is when we can optimize. Now we can try to find a different approach. You only find a different approach once you have literally brute forced your way through every option and you've done it consistently. Once you've brute forced your way through producing a bunch of videos, marketing, campaigns, paid ads, sales, and nothing's working, now it's time to change focus. But until you've done all of that and you've done that for an extended period of time, don't jump ship just yet. You only jump ship once you've done all of that, you've done everything for an extended period of time, and nothing is producing, and now you're starting to see red. If you see red, be patient. Volume, increase the output. Once you increase the output and the volume and you see nothing's working, you've upped the marketing, you're increasing the amount of money you spend on paid ads, and you're not getting a return on ad spend. Okay, now, okay, maybe we gotta do something else. Now we gotta look somewhere else, and let's think of something else now. Those are 25 points that I gave to you guys for small business owners. Hey, that's what I learned from working with a small business, and we grew to be a very successful company. They're still going at it, killing it. And so that's everything I learned. Hopefully I can teach you guys something. CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, hey, really, really pay attention to those key tips. It's very important, man. Very important. See you guys on the next one.